This is the secret battle of Gaza no one can see. Deep beneath the urban landscape lies a complex web of tunnels, a hidden front in a long-standing conflict. These passageways, once mere channels for smuggling, have morphed into a strategic military labyrinth, central to an intense game of cat and mouse beneath the surface. But what is their impact on the tactics of both sides? And what is Israel doing to take them out of the fight? Discovering the vast network of tunnels under Gaza immediately raises the question, how long did it take to build such an extensive system? The answer is not a simple one, reflecting years of secret construction. The first recorded tunnel in Gaza was discovered in 1983. From the 80s to the early 2000s, the tunnels in the Gaza Strip were primarily used for smuggling goods and people across the borders of both Egypt and Israel. While initially made to bypass sanctions and for economic benefit, when Hamas took power in 2006, the tunnels began to be used for more evil purposes. Over the years, Hamas has expanded its vast tunnel network from smuggling routes to underground complexes. Inside these literal underground highways are command and control centers, hospitals, bunk rooms, storerooms, and more, all of which have electricity running through them and are concrete fortified. Several main arteries feed into smaller tunnels that branch off to individual openings. Known as the Gaza Metro, these tunnels allow fighters to move without fear of being spotted. But even though snuffing out these tunnels seems daunting, with the Gaza Strip being so tiny, they should be easy to find, right? Unfortunately, that is not the case. As previous conflicts and the current one have shown, Hamas gets very creative about where it puts its tunnel entrances. Hamas prefers to put them inside civilian homes, hospitals, schools, and mosques. They also hide them in ditches, chicken coops, and other places that seem inconspicuous and ordinary. Because of this, Israeli troops have to be extremely cautious wherever they're advancing, should they accidentally miss a Hamas hideout. In fact, reports from the battlefield have shown this to be true. There have been several documented cases of Hamas fighters appearing far behind the front lines in areas that had been cleared days or weeks before. These attacks naturally slow operations down to a snail's pace to allow for finding and destroying tunnel entrances. But how has Israel destroyed tunnels in the past? In previous conflicts in the Gaza Strip, Israel has used several tried-and-true methods of wiping out tunnels. The first of these is the American-made GBU-28, also known as the Bunker Buster. First unveiled during the Persian Gulf War, this specially made bomb is perfect for taking out concrete-hardened command posts and bunkers buried far beneath the Earth's surface. How the bombs carry out this task is through one of two ways. Firstly, the bomb is hardened more so than an ordinary bomb and is equipped with a time-delayed fuse. Once the bomb penetrates the Earth, time-delay fuse ensures that the bomb breaks into whatever it was intended to destroy before detonating. Other versions of the bomb include a tandem warhead. This means that the first explosion will create a hole through which the secondary explosive charge will pass. This ensures that the primary explosive blast does not get weakened on the way down. But while these bombs proved incredibly useful during the 2008 and 2014 conflicts in Gaza, they do have their drawbacks. One of the main drawbacks is collateral damage. Because Hamas has been refining its tactics over the past 20 years, they now almost exclusively dig tunnels and build entrances underneath and inside civilian homes, hospitals, schools, and other sensitive sites. Hamas is banking on the fact that Israel would use such weapons to take out these tunnels. Though the GBU-28 would achieve this effect, it would have the unintended consequence of huge civilian casualties. As a result, Israel has steered away from the mass use of bunker buster bombs and has, in the past, used several other tried-and-true methods. Whenever Israeli infantry advanced before, they would identify and mark tunnel entrances as they went by. Combat engineers would quickly follow to seal off the entrances with several methods. The first of these methods was to simply blow the entrance up with explosives. The second way was to bulldoze the earth into it. The last way engineers would destroy it was through pouring concrete into the tunnel. But while all these methods are fine during limited combat operations, they are less suitable during the current high-intensity conflict. Additionally, Hamas has been hardening its tunnel systems for years to combat these tactics. Because tunnels have numerous entrances and exits, simply sealing off one doesn't guarantee that the tunnel has been put out of commission. The terrorists have also reinforced these tunnels greatly over the years, and blowing them up sometimes requires greater amounts of explosives that would cause collateral damage. So what has Israel come up with today to take out these tunnels? Since the full-scale invasion of Gaza has started, the Israeli military has implemented several never-before-seen tactics to take out and identify where tunnel complexes are located. As far as taking out tunnels, the Israeli military has two new strategies. The first of these strategies is what the media has dubbed sponge bombs. Little is known publicly about these devices, but media reports claim that it is a grenade-like explosive device that, when it explodes, sprays foam everywhere. In a short amount of time, this foam hardens to create a wall that renders the tunnel sealed. Though there has been no confirmed video or picture evidence of this being used so far, Israeli officers have talked about how they're tactically employing it. Called the purple hair in Israeli military circles, troops will throw a small grenade into a tunnel, quickly followed by a sponge bomb. The sponge bomb will quickly seal the entrance and force the smoke into the tunnel, where troops can see where it's coming from to see what other entrances need to get taken out. Israeli special forces are also getting a helping hand from man's best friend in rooting out terrorists hidden underground. Specially trained attack dog teams have been deployed to the Gaza Strip. Though dogs have been used in warfare for over 100 years, this is one of the first, if not the first, in modern times that dogs have been specially trained to attack targets deep inside tunnels. Though there have not been first-hand accounts of their success yet, photograph evidence from the battlefield proves Israel is using attack dogs to find and eliminate terrorists. But even with these new tools in taking out tunnels, the hardest part is finding them. After all, Israeli troops don't want to know where a tunnel is located because they took fire from one. They would rather know well ahead of time and take it out before Hamas fighters can launch ambushes from them. And thankfully for them, Israel has several creative ways to find them. One of these ways has been through drone surveillance. While aerial drones are certainly used for surveillance, using them to determine patterns of life and estimate where tunnels are located is a new way of finding them. Because Israel has few human assets on the ground for intelligence, aerial drones are the next best thing to observe Hamas fighters at all times. They look for things that are not ordinary. A group of guys going into a building and not leaving for days. Covered vehicles going into a house at all hours of the day and night. Or perhaps someone coming from a chicken coop at 2 o'clock in the morning are all examples of suspicious behavior that Israel observes with drones to make their best guess on where a tunnel is. Israeli troops also employ literal groundbreaking technologies to uncover tunnels on the ground too. Just behind the front lines, special teams of troops with groundbreaking sonar comb the battle space. Though it is unclear where Israel obtained these sonars, it's known that they use them to create a 3D map of what's beneath them. Whenever these discover anomalies, this data is analyzed and maps are created of tunnels. However, Israel has been using a new technology that is even more revolutionary. Through a combination of ground and satellite-based technology, Israel has mapped over 500 kilometers of Hamas tunnels to date. Using sensors to detect differences in the Earth's magnetic field and satellites to measure areas of differing surface heights indicative of tunnel operations, the IDF has successfully harnessed science in finding terrorist tunnels. But what does the future look like in taking them out? Whenever Israeli troops identify a complex tunnel, they only enter it if they really have to. Instead, troops use drones and robots that they send into these tunnels. As of today, these drones, known as the Israeli-made IRIS or American Micro-Tactical Ground Robot, are sent in to take pictures and videos of what lurks inside those murky corridors. These drones are incredibly powerful and can easily traverse stairwells and turn corners while sending back high-definition footage. However, Israel wants to arm these drones in the future. While some claim this has already happened, there's not been any confirmed combat use of an armed drone in a tunnel. The IDF is likely still experimenting with this technology, and certainly prototypes may be used in the field. Only time will tell if Israel will develop a truly autonomous armed drone that can take the place of a soldier inside an enemy tunnel to take out terrorists where they are hiding. Bye for now.